Hello guys, welcome back. Now today, I'm happy to say that the Vegas Golden Knights are not just the best expansion team in the AHL, but in all of sports, at least record-wise. Now, the Vegas Golden Knights already have one more win than every single NHL team through the expansion process. The Vegas Golden Knights have played 50 games, so they still have 32 games to go to just smash that record, and it's going to be obliterated. Like the last record was the Panthers and the Mighty Ducks tied with 33 wins. But the Golden Knights are already at 34, and it's already 50 games. It's only 50 games in the season. They're just dominating, and every other expansion team is just crying and wishing that they could be this good. Now, the Panthers were considered the best expansion team in the NHL before the Vegas Knights came in and just blew that record away. They're already the Vegas Golden Knights are already better than them, but the Panthers were the record holder, I guess you could say, before this season. They were considered the best. Considered the best expansion team with 33 wins and 34 losses. They missed the playoffs by 1 point and just barely didn't get in the playoffs. So before the Vegas Golden Knights, this was considered the best team in expansion, and the best expansion team ever didn't even make the playoffs, and the Vegas Golden Knights are set to make the playoffs. That's pretty ridiculous, man. And the other expansion teams include the 67 and 68 Flyers, 31-32, the 93-94 Mighty Ducks, 33-46, the 0-0 and 0-1 Blue Jackets, 28-39, and the 98 and 99 Predators at 28 and 47. So there isn't really much competition there for the expansion teams. There isn't too many teams that are really all that great. The Panthers were really the only team that's actually okay in that list, and the Vegas Golden Knights are just way above these teams. And of course, the Bettman and getting the team better than they were. And of course, some teams really made some bad trades there, which really did help them. Not going to name any names really, but Florida Panthers. And of course, they blew everybody's predictions out of the water from the beginning of the season. Just absolutely amazing. The Vegas Golden Knights have gotten really out of all odds and been really, really good. Second in the NHL, first in the NHL at times, and it's really been surprising. Probably one of the biggest surprises of just like this past year in general. Like, it's been an amazing ride. Of course, the fans have been fantastic in Vegas. They sell out basically every single game, and they're doing fantastic. And if they continue to win and they continue to do well, they'll be one of the best successful franchises in the AHL for sure. They're doing fantastic right now. Of course, they got me to buy their merchandise, so they must be doing something good, right? And of course, I say this time after time again, the Vegas Golden Knights get home ice advantage, man. In the playoffs, that would be just legendary for them. Of course, they're looking like they're going to get that, and I hope that they do, because they can get far in the playoffs, especially if they get home field advantage, because that crowd does wonders for you, especially in the playoffs. It helps you immensely, and you just have to capitalize on it. So the Vegas Golden Knights are one of the best teams in the NHL at home. I think they're the best team at home in the NHL, which is ridiculous. They've been playing fantastic at the T-Mobile Arena, and they're just doing fantastic things. They're just doing historic things, and nobody really expected them to do this, so it's really just the eyes are really opening now. Now, I don't see them getting to maybe the Stanley Cup final in the playoffs, but I think that they could get pretty far in the playoffs, second round, maybe even the conference final. I don't think they'll get too far, but I think they can make a push. They have the team to do it. They have the skill, they have the talent, and they have the goaltender in Marc-Andre Fleury, who has been fantastic this season. And I think he'll continue to do so behind that defense, who surprisingly is very, very good. I came into the season thinking that Vegas was going to be one of the worst teams to score goals. They didn't have too much. They didn't look to have too much skill on that team, and really they're just doing a lot better than I thought they were going to do. They're not fantastic in the offense, but they're pretty good, damn good. And if they continue to do that, and offense carries over to the playoffs, but defense especially carries them into the playoffs. And the defense for the Vegas Golden Knights, of course, is very good. So they have everything going, really. They have the goaltending, the defense, the offense. They really have everything going. And of course, if you've got that going in the playoffs, you'll do very, very well. And who would have thought that they might actually be buying at the deadline, acquiring guys, and trading away draft picks or even prospects for guys that'll help you in this year? Who would have thought that would be Vegas' strategy, that they would end up having to do that? It was just ridiculous. And to think that a year ago, nobody would think that Vegas would be even near close to the playoffs, and now they're second in the AHL. It's just unbelievable. But honestly, I'm so happy that they're doing well. It's great to see, especially since they're going to have tough competition, and the Raiders coming in a couple of years. They're going to need to be good, and they especially have been good. And especially the city has banded around them. It's pretty special to see. And for the Vegas Golden Knights, it's really important to be good these next couple of years. They've already been good this season, so they need to continue to do so. And they'll have to prove the NHL this is not a fluke. I don't think it is, but the worry is always there. And me personally, I didn't expect them to be the best expansion team in the NHL history, but I expected them to be up in the top 5, maybe even top 3. But I certainly didn't expect them to be the best ever. It's just unbelievable, man. I really didn't. Nobody really expected this. And if you did predict Vegas to go to the playoffs, you were joking. Let's be honest here. And it's even more scary when you realize that Vegas has guaranteed a top 6 pick in the next 3 drafts. They have great prospects already for this past draft, and they've got the draft picks in the next 5 years to really make a great team here and get an enormous amount of depth. The scariest thing is they're good right now, but they'll be better in a few years, and that's just a scary thought for the rest of the NHL, really. It's weird to say, but Vegas could possibly become a dynasty. Now, I know, it's pretty unlikely, but if the Vegas Golden Knights don't win a cup in the next 10 years, it probably is a disappointment. That's good for today, guys. Guys, enjoy. Make sure to like, guys, really enjoy and subscribe. Ring that bell if you haven't. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.